There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
I'm going to spotlight you, Jenny.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello and welcome. Yes, I'm just seeing people coming on board. Hi, Catherine, Jackie, Julia. Thanks for joining us tonight. We do have a couple of more people who have registered for this event, which is great. So we're just getting started and don't keep you waiting whilst I'm gonna talk you through Cookidoo. So who am I? I'm Jenny Falter, I'm one of the local team leaders, and I'm here tonight with one of my fellow team leader, Michelle Moss, who is supporting me in the background. She is managing the chat. So if you do have any questions, something that I say that triggers a question, please feel free to immediately pop that question into the chat box so we or Michelle can answer that whilst it's still fresh, okay? And don't be shy. There's no such thing as stupid questions, and others might also have the same thought. And so just let's have this being interactive. So I'm going to spend the next half hour with you on showing you advanced Cookidoo, or what we'd like to call it advanced Cookidoo, but it's mainly a focus on Cookidoo 3.0, which is new at the moment. And I'm going to start screen sharing tonight. So it's different because tonight I'm going to use my iPad, and so things are a tiny bit different than usually, but let me start broadcast. So it's just technical things. It's just a tiny bit different. Okay, so now you can see my screen, and I'm heading over to Google Chrome, which is my preferred browser for Cookidoo for one particular reason, and that is Google Translate. So when you go and you explore recipes in a different language, then Google Translate has a built-in feature. It detects the language automatically, and it will suggest if you want to have it translated, which is really cool. So, however, before we get into here, I'm just quickly signing out, and I'm going to refresh the page. So that is how it looks like when you hop onto cookidoo.com.au. And if you don't have a Cookidoo account yet, then I would suggest that you click here on try it for free. This will give you a 30-day free access to Cookidoo. And after that, then you can decide whether you want to go ahead or not. So I'm just, if you see this page and you do have already a Cookidoo account, then you go here on the top right-hand side and click onto login. And I need to do this. I'm signing in with my credentials, and here we go. So it is greeting me with my name, or that's the name that I've put in here. And I love this. So what would you like to cook today? And right, so this is what we've covered. The basics we did on Tuesday with Mandy about how to search recipes, how to find them, how to save them, how to access them later on in your collections, in your weekly meal plan, and also how to create a shopping list. There is a recording available for that in case that's the things you were after. We were not covering that today. So what I'm going to cover with you is how you can make Cookidoo work for you. So have it more, instead of just the broader suggestions, how can you personalize it? And you do this by, again, going up here into your account. And here I'm going to say, view my profile. So yours is going to be empty at the moment, or it will be just on the standard settings. You could, like if you want to, like I did, that's my Jenny Thermal Crazy handle, my picture. You can put in a name in here. And then you can search by your cooking style. So I've ticked the veggie cook I love veggies. If that's not applicable for you and you say, oh, look, I don't have time to cook, then you click the time-saving cook. If you're more after some extravaganza, then click on the chefy cook. If you don't have a preference at all, just go ahead with the classic cook here. But this is the main part. What I want to point out is we can set filter preferences, and they will be saved for us. So every time when we go back into Cookidoo, then we will get these filters, so we don't have to update them every single time. And because I've got a TM6, I have chosen that version. I'm able to speak 2 languages, lucky me. So that's why I've chosen German and English. And I have also specified countries that I want to get access to. So all of these countries have either English or German recipes. Then you update that, and then we can go back onto the home screen. All right, so just below the search bar, that's where we put in recipes and ingredients, or just names or methods. That's then when we dive deeper into Cookidoo. And I want to draw your attention tonight for these buttons here. So as per default, it's on featured. That's where you can see the latest recipes that have arrived on Cookidoo. And here, that's a feature about Cookidoo 3.0. We're going to come to that in a moment. The most cooked and all of that, right? So that's the standard one. And if you have personalized your Cookidoo, then if you click on the next folder for you, then you will see that is handpicked for you. So I get a little bit more veggie lover recipes than everyone else. And so there's everyday recipes in here. See, because I'm a veggie lover, I get these suggestions here. This one here, Not Everyone Likes Bananas, is a good read about the personalization of Cookidoo. So here with these Learn More buttons, I'll show you another one. That's where you can learn a bit more about personalizing your Cookidoo. And then here we have themes, and that's when you can really get lost on Cookidoo. That is so, it's like a blog, you know. So there's so many great articles. So whatever is of interest for you, it's not just recipes. A lot of tips and tricks are being shared there with you as well. So if you have a minute, then please go ahead and knock yourself out on Cookidoo. We like to say that it's like Netflix for recipes. So be careful for binging on Cookidoo. Right, so now I want to dive into Cookidoo 3.0 and coming back here on the featured side where it says Learn More. If you click on that, then it will tell you about introducing created recipes. So there again, if we go a little bit further, there's more information, and I just want to point out something. So how can I get started? And if you click on Start Learning, you will see there is a little library, a video library. So either we can rewatch what we're talking about tonight, but if that's a little bit too fast and you want to repeat a step, then you can click on these individual videos. But these are basically the topics we are covering tonight. If you scroll a little bit further, then here's tips for creating your own recipes. And if you again click more, then they will talk you through how you convert recipes from your grandma, from your friend, or the ones that you have invented yourself, and how to translate them into Thermomix language, which is time, temperature, speed. And here you can download cooking tables. I've done that. This is earlier. So here we go. So you have an overview about chopping functions, grating, milling, and so on. This is all in here. If you want to, you do also have access to these things in your basic cookbooks. If you have a TM5, then that's going to be at the beginning of the book. If you got a TM6, that's going to be at the end of the book after the hot chocolate. All right, so coming back to my home screen. And so how do we find our own recipes? So here on the top, I have my recipes in the middle. And that's where I find the recipes that I've saved. And I have, if I go into here, then I have access to all. These were the ones that created, the ones that I've made. These are whole collections, as in books or little recipe collections that I've saved. But if I go into all, then I can also see my bookmarks. And I have here my created recipes. So let's go into these and have a look. By the way, even here, if you see that little hat symbol here, the academic, that's if you go into learn more, then you will have access to the same videos as well. So there's a bit of shortcut there as well. I just find it helpful to know where they are. So now you can see I have my created recipes here. I have used 17 out of my 100. Well, currently 100, we will see. First I thought, what, only 100? But once you started doing this, you will see 100 is a lot, you know, right? So I don't, at the beginning I was like, oh, but 100, I don't even think that I can fill in 100. All right, so these are all recipes that I have uploaded. They're nowhere else to find, not all of them. Some of them I have imported from the recipe community. Some of them I've created myself, and some of them I have tweaked from Cookidoo. So I'm going to show you all three versions on how this works. Let's start with creating our own recipe. So on the bottom right-hand corner, I hope you can see that, there's a green plus button. So if I click on it, it'll ask me, do you want to create a recipe or do you want to import a recipe? Let's start with creating a recipe. So I'm giving it a title and I will call it boiled water. Isn't that a very creative recipe? So then I can upload an image in here. I'm not going to do this now. So there's just you access to your photos on your device. Then I can select here for what devices is my recipe made for. So yeah, I can do this in both. So I can either now click here on confirm, or I can go in the next steps here. So preparation time, I would say prep time is 1 minute. And total time is, depending on the temperature of the water, let's say 10 minutes, just for the fun of it. Serving size is per default 4, and I said, yep, that's about right. So and now you can see it has filled in these little information tabs that you know the familiar view from other Cookidoo recipes as well. Right, so now on the left-hand side, I can start adding ingredients. And let's say, yep, we want 1,000 grams of water. And if I click on that plus sign, I then can add more ingredients to it. So I don't know, like a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon sugar. Very unrealistic. Here we go. So I click on this. So now I've finished my ingredients list. And if I go over here to the right-hand side, I just add in my first step. And I say, weigh in, and now I can, weigh in 1,000 grams of water, right? So now I do this just to show you. Oops. Okay, and I say plus to add the step, and then I can say put a lid on top, insert measuring cup, and turn speed up. First we need the time, set timer to 10 minutes, 100 degrees, speed, 2. All right, just an example. All right, so now I have just written this down, but what I can do with all of the steps, I can program the settings. So that's what we love about guided cooking, right? So it brings up the scales automatically, and it has put in the timer, speed and temperature also for us. But here, because we're creating this recipe, we have to do that ourselves. So what I'm going to do is, so I go into the step, and because I want to weigh something in, I'll bring up the scales. So because I've already added the ingredients, they come up here in the list. So I say, yep, 1,000 grams of water. So that was just for demonstration purposes. So basically I can delete that again. And now you can see if you have a green underline, this means now we're going to have a look how this looks like on the machine later. It will bring up the scales automatically. It will ask me on the screen to weigh in the water. So, okay, that step is done. Here we don't need to program anything, but here I want to set the timer to 10 minutes and also the speed and the temperature. So I go into cooking settings, and I just need, yeah, okay. So here I go in 10 minutes. I say temperature should be 100 degrees and speed, I'm going to go on speed 2. So now I've done all my settings. So I just click on OK. And again, I can now delete this because now I have programmed these steps. Okay. And so that's about it. And then last step could be use as needed. Boom. Right, so now I can confirm this, and now it says has successfully done that. And if I click on done, then I have my created recipe here in the list. That was easy. Now I want to show you, so I hope you're very impressed with my hot water recipe there. And now I'm going to show you how we can import a recipe from the recipe community. So same thing. So we start on the top, bottom right-hand corner. I click on import recipe. And now I can, let's start with Cookidoo, sorry. Let's start with Cookidoo, and I will go into, oops, where am I? So I go into my Cookidoo app, and I have chosen the Sun Choi Bao I want to tweak this recipe. Sorry for the back and forth. It's just a bit easier that way. So now I can, okay, so now it hasn't done that. So that's happens sometimes if you try to copy over from the app. So I need to go into Cookidoo again. All right, and I have this in my week. Just easier to find. Here we go. And here it's a bit easier to copy the link. I just grab it from here. So link copied into clipboard. And oops, then I go back into my other Cookidoo. And here we go. So this is the Cookidoo link that I want to tweak. So if I do this, I'm using an existing Cookidoo recipe, you will see it has automatically transferred the title of the recipe. It has transferred over the image of the recipe, and it has done all the settings that we've previously done manually automatically there for you, including the ingredients and also the preparation steps. So if I say click more, so now you can see it has the already programmed. If I go into this step, then you can see it has already programmed here the pork, the weighing in of the pork. There are also red underlines. This means that created recipes do at the moment not have any other modes, including medium and turbo, available at the moment. We hope that's going to change soon, so we get feedback to them, and just so letting you know, so it still works, so you can still do that on your machine. You just have to, if you want to use that certain mode, then you would have to go out of the recipe and come back in. So however, I want to change this recipe to make it my way. So instead of the pork loin steaks that are partially frozen, I will use already shop bought mince, meaning I can delete this step because I'm not going to use that. So I just go here on the side and I delete the whole step. So I basically started step number 3. And instead of the pork, I also want to tweak this ingredients. So I'm going to use 500 grams of chicken mince because it's San Joy Bao Shani's way. And so what I'm going to do now, so instead of the here where it says they add the mince, so where is it here? So 250 grams of the mince. So we can use this one over here and then the second mince. So we don't have to do any changes here. And I think this is a coriander-free recipe. Yay! So I don't have to tweak that as well either. So I could also change the title here. So just so I see that is the version that I have tweaked. It just sometimes needs a second. There we go. And now I say this is San Joy Bao Shani's way. Okay, confirm, and I go on done. And now you can see, so it's in my created recipes and it's clearly my way and not a Cookidoo recipe or an original Cookidoo recipe anymore. Good, so I hope I have a lot of questions and the chat's running wild in the background. Actually, for me,
explained everything so well. No one's asked any questions yet, but maybe we'll take a breath and just see if anybody's thought of anything.
Yeah.
Anyone, you don't have to write it in the chat. It's a very relaxed group. You can just shout out.
Yeah, I'm off mute if you like.
Jenny and I have a bit of a laugh because both of us are quite good at talking and we don't often come up for air, so we're hard to interrupt. So we like to pause every now and then in case people do want to ask us a question.
That's right. Okay. Well, then I just keep going.
Keep going.
That's all right. So basically the last way of doing it is, and it's even easier, you go onto, so import a recipe from the recipe community. And I have chosen for tonight a very special recipe.
Oh, I know that one.
That's a good one. You might want to have a look. Also look who the author is. Yes, so that's Michelle's recipe. And you can see it's been around for a while. This is a TM31. And yeah, so I'm going to show you 2 different ones. So this one, Michelle's recipe, is to die for anyway. So definitely look it up, make it, rate it. It's an awesome recipe. And you save a lot of money by making your nut butter by yourself. So what I want to draw your attention to is when you go into a recipe community, you go into a recipe, you have now, you will find 2 buttons. They are new. So here it says add to Cookidoo. So you can either click on that or you can scroll to the bottom and that's the same way there. So I just use the top one and then it asks me, oh, do you want to add a Cookidoo recipe? Want to add that recipe to your Cookidoo? So yep, I want to do that. And let's see what's happening. So it hops back into my browser and voila, same thing. So it brought up the title, it transferred over the image, which is great. And you can see ingredients are here and we have the little steps already separated. What's not in there right now is we have to put in our cooking instructions and the weighing as well. So here just add all the ingredients. So you can bring up the scales. So you can pop it in here and say, yep, I want the ingredients. I want the almonds. I want the macadamias and so on. Right. So just go through the list. as you want. And what else do we have? And the salted cashew nuts. All right, so we just weigh them in. And then because it's 2 steps, you can either have that in 1 step, or you can then say here, I'm going to add an extra step. So all I do is in that preparation step, I hit the return key on my keyboard, and then I go here into the cooking settings and I say 1 minute on speed 9, like that. And again, I can leave that, or I can just delete that because it's going to be double on the screen, and so on, right? So then you go through this and you confirm, and on the top here, now I say done. Let's start. Where am I? Going back to my Cookidoo. She's doing a tour here with me. And where is it? Need to go back. And back in. I think I did it on the, here we go. So now it has transferred it over. Because I've got 2 browsers open, it's a bit confusing here at the moment. All right, so that's basically it. So 3 different ways how to get recipes into our created recipe folder. And before I'm going to show you how this looks like on the Thermomix on the TM6 screen, I just wanted to let you know that here again, like with all the recipes that you know from Cookidoo, you can also add your created recipes into your Cook Today, add it to your weekly meal plan. You can add the ingredients to your shopping list. And on top of that, you can edit the recipe anytime. And you could also delete it if it's boiled water recipe, for example. All right, so because I want to show you how this looks like on the Thermomix screen, I'm quickly transferring you over to a pre-recorded video that I have on YouTube, but it's basically, it starts there where I ended right now. And yeah, just enjoy the next 4 minutes hearing my voice again, and keep these questions coming.
To show you how this looks like.
Can you hear that?
To access your own recipes on your machine.
Yes, that
basically
Good.
You start going into my recipes like you usually would. And now again, you can see here that folder with the created recipes. And when you click on it, then all the recipes that you just saw, we have managed on our website, are here for you to choose. So in this case, let's go with Jenny's best mashed potato recipe. So you click on it, and you will notice it has a yellow line here on the bottom. Again, like with all the other recipes, you can scroll further down and you will see a familiar picture here with the ingredients on one side and the preparation steps here on the other side. You will always see that your name, and if you have uploaded a photo of yourself, that will also be here. And it will tell you it's not an official Cookidoo recipe, it's one that you have imported yourself. So it's a user-created recipe. So all we do is we go and click on Start Cooking, and again it will tell you it's not an official recipe, forward recipe, and that you always get reminded to follow the general safety instructions here. Good. How we do this, we click on the side, and here you can see we've got the ingredients and the steps in here. They're highlighted in green if they are available. So let's have a look. So this is how this looks like, right? You got your list of ingredients that the machine wants you to weigh in. So instead of next, we get them all here in one go. And let's say you start weighing in your potatoes, and once they're in, you click on tare, and then you weigh in the 280 grams of milk, again tare, and so on. Once you've done that, you cross this out, and you then follow the next step. And here the settings would be 25 minutes, 100 degrees. you can see it's green highlighted there, meaning the settings are available here for you. So once that has cooked, then we go over to the side, and in this case, the dish is already finished. I think there's a little bit more work to be done, but basically I just want to give you a quick overview how you can access your guided recipes on your TM6 screen and how this looks like.
Okay, so that was basically it. Let me come back to you guys. Yeah, here I am. Good. Do we have any questions? No. You're blown away.
Yanni?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sue here. I heard somewhere that if you don't join the 3.0 Cookidoo, that you don't get any upgrades going forward with the old Cookidoo. Is that right? Or what happens?
Yeah, so it's a bit interesting how they formulated that saying in that information email that you are referring to, or that you might have received, because so what's going on at the moment is everyone is on Cookidoo 3.0 for a while, right? And you will see all the messages popping up either on your Thermomix screen or the one or on you go into your account, whether you want to keep Cookidoo 3.0, yes or no. So the thing is, so at the moment you can decide to stay on Cookidoo 3.0 if you like the created recipes, and or if you prefer to stay on Cookidoo 2.0 if you don't want to go ahead with that. The difference basically is at the moment it's a price difference. So Cookidoo price have changed, or they will change. They have changed. So the price model has changed to $69 a year. And if you choose at the moment to remain on Cookidoo 2.0, you will continue to have your subscription on $49 for another year. So at the moment, that's all we know. That sentence you're referring to, there was from, I don't know it off by heart anymore, but it basically was, if you do not opt in for Cookidoo 3.0, you will not receive the created recipes and further Cookidoo developments, basically. So things like, like I just said, so at the moment it's on 100, and at the moment we can't do the molds and stuff like that. So I'm expecting Cookidoo to develop and evolve even further, like it's like a Thermomix does all the time. But this has got nothing to do with the molds that's on your screen. So this is Cookidoo specific.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
So two different things. So I know they are like a symbiosis, these two. So Cookidoo and Thermomix go along very well together. But one is it's basically two different things, and Cookidoo subscription has nothing to do with what's going on your machine and the development there.
Okay, because my machine keeps telling me I have to update it, and I didn't update it because I didn't know what was going on, and I sort of held off for the moment. But so that's totally different, is that?
It's totally different, yeah. So basically what it wants, because you are on Cookidoo 3.0 at the moment, it asks you if you want to stay on it. And if you say yes, then you commit to stay on Cookidoo 3.0, but you don't have to pay immediately. You only have to pay the $69 next time your renewal is due.
Okay.
Depending on how long your membership still goes, let's say it goes until March next year, if you're lucky, then you only have to pay next year in March the $69.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, great question, and very, very, very fair question. I would have come to the price to finish, but it's good. Do we have any? I saw something popping up in the chat. Was that Can you put automated functions into the recipes? No. So automated functions as in, like I said, at the moment you can put in the scales and the normal cooking functions. At the moment we can't put in the kneading or the turbo or I don't know, a peeler or egg cooking mode, or so they're not available to have them, or high heat. And if you do have a TM6, we cannot at the moment incorporate them into the kneading. Yes. And no, not right now, unfortunately. So you can still use it. So as you saw there on the screen, so you do have the different steps, and you can just go quickly into the modes and hit the kneading, and then go back and start continuing with the recipe. Right. Any more questions? So yeah, so is everyone enjoying their 3.0 at the moment? Have you tried creating your own recipes yet?
No, I haven't given it a go yet. No, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
I've put one in. I put in my grandmother's tomato sauce, because I've got all these handwritten cards of my grandmother's recipes.
Yes, yes.
My mother's been photographing and sending to me on the phone, so I've been typing them in.
Bless.
That's amazing.
Turn all these old-fashioned recipes, updating them to Thermomix, and then my nieces have Thermomix and my daughter-in-law does, and so then I'll be able to, hopefully, I think, well, that was the other question actually. Can I share, apart from recipe community, because I really want to put them in recipe community, how do I share recipes that I've made with other people in Cookidoo 3?
Yeah, excellent question. And that's something we will expect to come to Australia too soon.
Okay.
So that is one of the features. And that's mainly also the reasons why we are not allowed to upload third-party recipes at the moment, because once the sharing function becomes available on Cookidoo, then basically they're free for everyone, and that's why we can't do that. But your grandma's recipes, your own, that's completely fine to do that. And all the recipes that are uploaded on the recipe community are basically giving up the rights to be shared anyway. So
you can't, it'd be, I'm just thinking someone might be quite sneaky and put sort of like Heston Blumenthal's cookbook in their Cookidoo, and that would sort of be a little bit of a breach of copyright, wouldn't it?
It would, and Hester wouldn't be very happy about that. Would not be amused, I guess. No, that's right. So at the moment, the only sharing option is via the detour to recipe community, if that's what you want to do. But we're expecting, with further updates on Cookidoo, that the sharing function will come.
Jenny, it's Jackie here. I just wanted to ask, if I've got, once I sign up to Cookidoo and I use it for, say, a year, and then decide not really use, I've saved all the recipes I want, I'm doing everything I need, I've saved everything, I don't really use it as much anymore, do you still have, can everything still save, or do you just lose everything if you don't keep subscribing?
Unfortunately, the reference to Netflix also applies here. So if you don't continue paying for your subscription, then no, you unfortunately won't have access to all the saved recipes then anymore. Good news is, should you change your mind again and you sign up or you continue with your subscription at a later stage, they will still be there. I think this is important to know.
And the basic cookbook will stay on your machine as well.
That's right. It's just the saved ones or the created ones. They will not be accessible for you anymore, unfortunately. It's a service we're paying for. Anyone else? You've got great questions. I love it. No, sorry you came a little bit late. We have started at 8 p.m. already, sorry. And we're just about to wrap up, but we have recorded this session, and I will send it out to everyone who has registered, and also just also that little snippet of the what you saw from the YouTube video. I've made a whole video in there. I'll put the link in there as well, in case that's something you would be more interested in. I have. I think we do offer a lot of support for you, and that's just part of the service that I want everyone. Look, I'm the world's biggest Cookidoo fan, and I just want to share the love, and I want to share with everyone how awesome it is and what it does for me, and I hope it does the same for you as well. Can't help it.
I love your passion and your knowledge, Jenny. Thank you, because every time I watch you or listen to you, I pick up an extra little idea or tidbit on how to use Cookidoo. It offers so much. So I think, you think about your mobile phone where you just make calls and texts, but it has all these other capabilities. Cookidoo is the same. So if you understand what it offers, then you can actually get the most out of it, which is really important.
It's true, and it keeps on improving, which is great. I'm just blown away. Love Cookidoo. I'm multiple times a day on Cookidoo.
Yeah.
I find it quite sad when I see people on Facebook forums saying, "Oh, I haven't really used my Thermomix at all since I bought it," and I just go, "Oh my God, go into Cookidoo, look at the recipes, just like make something, do the challenge."
Yeah.
Your consultant. Oh my God. I mean, it's like people who buy recipe books and they open it and they use one recipe and then they don't use anything else out of it at all. And it's just like, why do you spend that money on that book if you're actually not going to use it? Yeah. And it's that adventurous spirit that I think people don't have. And they get the Thermomix and they're all excited about it, and then they lose their sense of adventure because they've bought it, so therefore it must do the work. But they don't understand it's a partnership. You have a partnership with the Thermomix and it does things for you. It's just
Catherine, whose team are you going to join?
Yeah.
Hi, Denise.
Catherine was already in my team once.
Oh, there you go. She was just like, oh my gosh, if this lady needs to be.
No, but you're absolutely right. But I give you that much. If you explore Cookidoo for the first time, it can be quite overwhelming, and you need a little bit of where do I start? And so that's why we're doing these sessions for you, so to help you getting started with the basic one. And if you already know about all of that, then so now there's more. So that's what we're doing.
That's why I love going to your sessions, Yanni, the half hour or 1 hour sessions. Every time I learn a new recipe and I try something and it's amazing and it just inspires me further. And I'm going to try and upload a recipe now. So thank you for inspiring me. Okay.
For the nut butter dip.
Yes. Okay, good. We'll try that one as an easy one.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right. Well, then I'll wrap it up for tonight. Thanks so much,
Jenny.
And have a good night.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'll stop the recording now.
Yeah.